Previously on Breaking Point.
Oh, I've never seen anything like this on a racetrack before! Two teammates wheel to wheel! Keep it clean! Inches separating them and they crash! Oh, they've come together in spectacular style and they're both out of the race!
We've invested millions in you two. Millions! And look at you both, acting like a couple of school kids. The team is bigger than you two and your petty squabbles. Grow up! Any more, and you're both out. You hear me? I'll finish the season behind the wheel myself if I have to.
Go away.
Hey, so? What did he say?
Threatened to fire both of us.
He won't.
That's not the point.
You've survived worse, you know?
Doesn't make it any easier.
Maybe not, but you're not hurt. And you have a family who'll love you. The rest are just details.
Well, we left this story last at a very, very tense moment, but here we are, chapter number 7 then. It's 2021, a new season and the possibility of a fresh start for Casper Ackerman and Alfa Romeo. Following the unceremonious end to their team's chances in the 2020 season, both driver and team are looking to deliver a strong start at the season opener in Melbourne, Australian Grand Prix Q3. And it looks like for now, entering this new season and chapter, we are viewing the story from the viewpoint of Casper Ackerman. The other side of the coin is going to be shown, and we might just learn a few different things about Casper, his wife, his situation that we maybe didn't know and appreciate from before.
Here we are then, another season of Formula One racing is upon us. Some teams confident following pre-season, whilst others still looking for answers. Let's see what the future holds for them as qualifying gets underway here in Melbourne. So, Aiden Jackson in 9th, but Alfa Romeo still hopeful that the youngster can secure a decent position. Let's see how he gets on here. Teammate Casper Ackerman didn't make it through to Q3, narrowly missing out by just
13 milliseconds. You did all you could. If I went out second today, I would have those 13 milliseconds back, no problem. Why do they keep sending me out first?
11th isn't the end of the world, Casper. You'll make those places back.
Yeah, for sure. But I shouldn't have to.
We've only really seen, two small moments with Casper so far. Just then, and also obviously the aftermath of the crash and incident last season in Chapter 6. But already you can kind of, you can start to see why from his side it's frustrating. He is the veteran here in the team, a Formula 1 legend in this different alternate universe of Formula 1. And he's being treated like a second-class person here in the team to a youngster. So already I think we're all gonna maybe appreciate him in a different light and maybe not be so harsh on him. But let's see. We've got his wife Zoe calling us, who seems to be a very lovely character.
Zoe, hey.
Morning, Daddy.
Lily, you know it's not morning where Daddy is, right?
Mummy says you're on the other side of the world.
That's right. Daddy is in Australia. I'm upside down.
Then why don't the cars fall off?
Mommy can explain that. Can I speak to her?
Don't fall off, Daddy.
I won't, Lily. Promise.
Hey, qualifying not so good, huh?
They sent me out first.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, some of your best races were coming from midfield.
Yeah?
Yeah. Besides, I thought you loved a challenge. Lils, off the table. Now. It's breakfast time. I should go.
Sure.
You'll be great. You always are. Love ya.
Love you too.
You know what? I'm already a big fan of Zoe. She seems like a cracking character. Bigging us up, and that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was heartwarming. That was really nice. Also with his daughter as well. That was already, Casper, the seemingly bad guy to us as Aiden, as we play through in the first 3 parts there of the series. He's been the bad guy up till now, but now they're humanizing him. They're showing us the other side. You know, he's his own person. He's got his own issues, his own family, his own thing, just like Aiden did. And I really, honestly, I got to break the fourth wall here and just talk about the game and the story. I really rate this from Cody. He's really good. This is awesome. This reminds me of The Last of Us 2, where they switched it up halfway through and made you play as the character that most of the fan base playing the game hated for so much of the first half of the game, and then they just switched it and made you play as them. And this is it. I think we're going to be playing as Casper now, because we're not switching away from his motorhome here. We're hearing, you know, from his wife, his kids. So I think we, at least for this next chapter here, are playing as Casper for the first part of the season. Maybe we'll switch back to Aiden later. But at the moment, from what I'm seeing, I kind of feel bad almost for bad-mouthing him a little bit in previous episodes, because he seems like a lovely guy. Obviously, it's always a weird situation in Formula 1 where it just happens. It always happens. The new guard, the changing of the guard, but it doesn't mean when the new guard comes in that the old guard is still not, you know, they still deserve the respect, and they still are, you know, people in the day that have their own things going on, their own demons and their own situations. And I guess we're going to find that out a bit in terms of how it feels to be that older guard being pushed out, being given the second treatment here. Because Chapter 7 gets into now the Australian Grand Prix mid-race, with tensions from last year looking set to continue into this season. Casper Ackerman pushes onwards during the inaugural race of the 2021 Championship.
Something's not right.
Understood, Casper. We're on it.
It's the gearbox. I lost the gear.
Push on, Casper. We're assessing. Just push on best you can.
I'll try.
You have got to be kidding me. This man gets no luck. Finished the race whilst managing the fault. We've got a missing gear. I think we're missing 7th gear. So, yeah, to be fair, out of all the gears to miss around Australia, not too bad. So, off the back of last season, tension's a bit still very much there after being given the second treatment quali. And now we've got an issue here. It just keeps pouring down.
Okay, bad news on the gearbox. The team are trying everything they can think of, but they're not optimistic. Just keep at it. Do your best. That's all we can ask.
That's all we can ask. That's all they can ask. It really is. When it rains, it really does pour for Casper Ackerman, it would seem, in this story mode so far. So, 2021 season, welcome, Australian Grand Prix. And what a welcome indeed, having to do the rest of this race with a missing gear. We try our best. And, you know, to be honest, in the cockpit, it's a weird one to think about doing my best driving as Casper now, because we've, you know, this whole time we've been pushing with Aiden, trying to one-up him. We had to prove ourselves and kind of, you know, stick it to Casper and everyone to show how good we were as Aiden Jackson. And now we're being asked, and we have to try and do the best job we can now for Casper's sake here in this story, playing as him. So we move on then, trying to maybe still find some pace in the car. You can see the lack of 7th gear is just a bit awkward sometimes when you're trying to move the car at a high speed kind of area, but lower speed, we've got all the gears there still, so we've still got a pretty quick car underneath us. Obviously, remember, the Alfa Romeo here in this alternate universe of Formula 1 is definitely a lot quicker than the Alfa Romeo we know in real life. So you've got to take everything with that kind of understanding of how the storyline works in the alternate F1 universe we've got here. So to that effect, we're catching Lance Stroll, and despite having a lack of 7th gear, still finding the speed, obviously in 8th gear. Eventually, the speed gets there, and we're able to overtake him with some DRS8. Little bit of contact made there, but we're up into now P10. It's lap number 12, so we've got 3 laps to go after this one. So, and Jackson's P8 there, you can see in the top left, so he's not too far away. We actually might be able to do a stonking effort. We are P11 on the grid, out-qualified by Jackson, got let out later than him, and with a gearbox issue, we could still maybe try and fight back and show that we've still got some speed in ourselves, and that Casper Ackerman is maybe not going to take this 2021 season sitting down here and make his own bit of luck, as we now go and chase after Fernando Alonso in the Alpine car. DRS open here, bit of ERS to help us and jump us up into that 8th gear speed after missing 7th, and we're up into P9, and the next man up is Aiden Jackson. We're on the soft compound as well, alternative strategy we've taken, and Jackson is on the mediums, worn out mediums. Obviously our softs will be a bit worn, but we are catching him at a rate of knots here, and on lap number 13 into 14 in the last sector, we are here, and we're going to set ourselves up for maybe another DRS pass. Deja vu here. 3 times we've caught someone in this same spot, but this time things are a little bit different. Things might be a bit more personal, because it's our teammate Aiden Jackson, the new guard. We are now driving as the old guard. What's it going to be here? On to lap number 14. DRS open, using the ERS to boost up. It's very close on the left-hand side. We're squeezing Aiden into the left-hand side, but we get the move done down the inside, and we are ahead of Jackson, despite having one less gear on our wagon with the soft compound, the alternate strategy working out, and despite being lower down on the grid, we've done it. We can now move on then to the end of the Grand Prix, and we're going to see Max Verstappen winning this one then with a bit of a quicker car under him in the Red Bull this year in 2021, and we're going to come home in P8, and this is going to be quite a drive, I think, really showing that, you know, this season here, we've still got some stuff left on the table. The tensions might still be there, but we have come out on top here versus Aiden Jackson. It's 1-0 in the 2021 season as I see it. But at the same time, obviously, we still did get the second treatment, so, you know, no matter what we do, will it be enough for the team to favour us anymore?
So as they climb out of the car, the Red Bull team are ready and waiting to celebrate a thoroughly well-deserved win. Well, what's happened there to Casper Ackermann? Still managed to finish, but that's got to be frustrating, Ant.
Yeah, looks like maybe it was a gearbox fault, which is always a blow for the driver. Ackermann won't be happy, but I'd say he's done very well in the circumstances.
Well, this isn't the start he would have wanted after last season. Let's hope things pick up for him. Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. So, not a great race out there for you today, Casper. Can you talk us through what happened?
Well, what happened with Casper today was none of his fault. The gearbox just broke. He was then out later, so he qualified lower, and he had to make the best of it, basically. So, you know, I think in this moment, I think it would be fair to say Casper would... I'm going to go for... I'm angry, you know, to have all that preparation, you know, and it was a vehicle fault. And it seems like I said, when it rains, it does really pour for Ackermann, it would seem.
I don't want to go into details. I'm angry. I'm really angry. I was ready to push it today. To have all that preparation and focus wasted by a vehicle fault. I'm almost lost for words.
Well, despite obvious vehicle difficulty, you still managed to finish. How hard is it to bring it over the line when facing such issues?
Obviously, we are a professional. We got on with the job. We overtook Jackson. We did quite well, to be fair, in the end. So, you know, I feel it's definitely a need to concentrate on the problem at hand and just hope for the best. We hope for the best. We got what we could. P8, you know, that you got to just do with what you've got.
Well, this is where experience comes in. You just have to switch off. Be mindful, but try and ignore what is going on around you. To concentrate only on the problem at hand and hope for the best.
While it's an unfortunate start to this season, last season was muddied by a tense relationship with your teammate. How are things now with you and Aiden?
Now, this one's tricky because Brian told us off, and I feel like the team would want us to go with, you know, that was last season. Don't look back and forward, but, you know, think about it. You know, this little kid, he's come in and he's got a better engine. He's getting the preferential treatment. It's not, you know, weird to say that it probably wouldn't have happened on Aiden's car if it was that.
Well, let's just say the gearbox fault probably wouldn't have happened in Aiden's car. Perhaps it's because I'm more experienced and can handle myself better. But the team does seem to be keeping a closer eye on Aiden's performance. We'll just see how the season develops, I guess.
Thank you for your time.
That was a very cheeky interview, I feel, from us as Casper there. I think we played the right cards for how the mood is. And we go on then. Chapter 7. So much for a fresh start. Mechanical issues hamstring Ackermann at the Australian Grand Prix. As his bad luck from the previous season continues. We go into the post-race. And we have, well, some thinking to do. I don't know where we go from here. Where does the story go? I guess we're going to find that out, really. And as we're in the social hub now, let's see, you know, obviously Casper, 1.2 million followers we saw. He's a big lad, you know, in this alternate universe. He's a big player in the F1 paddock. Got our engineer, Jeff, kind of just talking about salvaging points from a frustrating situation, annoyed as you are about it. Brian saying, Jeff's probably contacted you. We'll look into the gearbox. Team's all over it. I'm sure they are. That's what they all say. And then Lucas Weber, our old mate. I take it you saw the interview with Butler. He's trying to wind you up. The man's a troll. Just ignore him and hope he moves on. Oh, is it now? Oh, Devin Butler's back. We haven't seen him in a bit. And he's apparently said something about us and trying to troll us and wind us up. Well, Lucas Weber knows how to deal with that dickhead. So, yeah, I'll take Lucas's word for it. And we'll try not to let it affect our situation, basically. We'll just move on then. And with that, we go into Chapter 8. Looking to bounce back after frustrations of the Australian Grand Prix, Casper Ekman and Alfa Romeo are eager to find stability in Sakir. But as the race goes on, it becomes clear that his tyre wear is reaching critical levels. Bahrain Grand Prix, mid-race.
I'm losing grip.
Understood. Can you box next lap, Casper? Box next lap.
No, I need to come in now. It's quite bad.
We've got Aiden coming in now. Just hold out one more lap, please, Casper.
Isn't he a lap down?
Yes, he's on a different strategy, though.
Haven't I got priority?
He's boxing now. Please hold off, Casper.
Fine. Nope. I'm all over the place here. I'm coming in now. Must have been pretty urgent for Aiden, huh?
Please be patient, Casper.
There goes another place. And another. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Oh my god, that was so painful to watch. That was so... Why? He was a lap down. Why would the team still stick with pitting him ahead of us?
Okay, that wasn't ideal. Let's see if you can get a few places back, please, Casper.
I'm on it.
Wasn't ideal. Wasn't ideal. He was a lap down. I think I heard that correctly. And he still... what? I like the fact Casper's remain very calm there. He's like, oh, I'm on it. So here we go, regaining lost positions and finishing 8th or above. Here we are then on fresh medium tyres, and we've got to try and rocket up the positions. We were, I think, in P5 when we made that pit stop, so I don't know if we'll recover all the way up to P5, but we're on the charge. Mazepin gets out of the way in the Haas under blue flags. We're catching up to Fernando Alonso in the Alpine, drifting the car through, getting to grips with this with a slightly different package underneath this, of course, the 2021 Alfa Romeo versus the 2020 car we've been driving so far as Jackson in the story mode, but we're now speeding up. We're catching up to Alonso. We've got a gaggle of cars up the road. Ricardo going there to lap Latifi. I think that is in the Williams. We try and send one on a napping Fernando Alonso there. Wasn't going to go for the move initially, but then just thought we'll just send it there. We can't waste any time, and we're not going to. More blue flags, Latifi getting out of the way. But if we go quick enough, I can see on the minimap as we go a little bit wide there. I think that's the red dot of Ackerman. We might even catch back up to him to lap him, which will just be very awkward, and will just reaffirm how odd the team's decision was. Like, if we're a lap ahead and our tyres are going off, what logic is there by the team to not let us pit and have the priority? If he's a lap down, yes, he's on a different strategy, but that doesn't mean anything if we're the one in the points. It just doesn't make any sense. So, you're kind of, you're seeing that disconnect, that dislogic of, oh, hang on, why is Aiden getting all the treatment here if we are clearly in a better position, especially so in this race as we now continue to fight up the order. We got Ricardo. Vettel makes a mistake there with a lockup. There is Jackson getting out the way, and we go for a move on Vettel. We get very close to Aiden there and almost maybe make some contact with him, and that's just awkward in the cockpit for both of us there. But Vettel now defensive. We go to the inside of the hairpin. It's close, but no contact made with Ackerman. But no contact made with Sebastian Vettel. Get the move up into P8, and now we chase after Esteban Ocon. ERS boost, really nice run, and drive off the right-hander. And we're now down up into P7 by the line. We get to the last corner, easy does it, as Ocon tried to fight back a little bit. And then Sergio Perez here in P6, struggling in the Red Bull here, it would seem. Carlos Sainz way out the head on the hard tyre, so maybe he tried a different strategy versus Sergio Perez, but Perez looking a little bit vulnerable. So here we going through up the hill through that right-hander. Once again, can we look to find that drive that got us past Esteban Ocon, tight on the line, then on the exit, straight in the car, bit of ERS usage, and we are going to power past, punch past the Red Bull Honda. We're on the inside line though. It's going to compromise our run into the last corner. A bit of a lockup as well as we go a little bit wide on the exit. A lot wide actually on the curb. Lose some acceleration. We've got DRS from Perez, and despite that, the Mexican comes through. We're going to give him a big old squeeze towards the wall. It's a ding-dong battle with Sergio Perez. We squeeze him out though. Hold our nerve into turn one. The Mexican makes some contact with us as he dives down the inside. We just about maintain the position, and we will come through for P6 on the road. Valtteri Bottas wins the Bahrain Grand Prix here in 2021, but we're going to weave about and celebrate because I think that's a great drive from us. P6, lost positions, lost time in the pit stop, no thanks to our team, and we've come back for a really strong finish, and Aiden is a lap down.
An interesting little encounter between Ackerman and Jackson in the pit lane, and might that cause more friction behind the scenes?
Ackerman sounded pretty angry on the radio, didn't he? Told to box the next lap, but he came in anyway. That's not the decision of a man thinking clearly. Is he bringing his personal grievances onto the track? I think he could be.
They denied each other a significant number of points last season, and if today's anything to go by, those issues look like continuing. Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Congratulations on a tough race today, Casper. To all of us watching, it seemed as if there was some sort of clash in pitting strategy. Can you talk us through it?
I think it's pretty simple, really. We had tyre wear, and our teammate was lap down, so the team strategy was incorrect. I called it. We called it as Casper because that was the correct decision. And if he wasn't there, it would have been an even better race because we wouldn't have lost that extra time in the pit stops.
The team strategy was wrong, so I called it. I had to. Sometimes when you're the one behind the wheel, you've got to call the shots. I felt the tires begin to go off and realized I needed to come in. The team may disagree, but I pulled it back, so we'll see.
So the problem we all witnessed today was a team call, and not a sign of continuing tensions again this season between you and Aiden Jackson.
At the moment, I don't get the vibe that they're both professionals, let's say, on the right-hand side answer. So I think we're going to go with the left. Competing strategies cause a clash. That's what exactly happened.
No, everything's fine. Today was just an issue with two competing strategies that caused an unfortunate clash. Yeah, Aiden and I had our problems last season, but that was then. This is now. Why do you ask?
Well, you seemed angry on the radio with your team. People are asking if that's an indicator of a deeper issue behind the scenes. What would you say to that?
The little quip when Casper was coming into the pit lane. You know, in the car, F1, adrenaline pumping, going at speeds. You don't know what you're saying half the time, really. Things just pop up into your head.
Well, there's nothing to be concerned about. It's just adrenaline. You're in the middle of the race, you get hot. I can't even remember what I said. If it was, colourful, then I'm sure we'll all be laughing about it later.
Appreciate your time.
Well, things may have gone well, but you can maybe tell there's an undertone of still some irritation there for sure, just because of the situation. And while the incident in the pits may have cost Ackerman some places, he managed to draw them back and deliver a respectable finish for himself and Alfa Romeo at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We now go to the end of Chapter 8, post-race Bahrain.
I just don't get it, Zoe. He gets to pit ahead of me, and they give his car the only new power unit last season. And he gets to go out behind me in qualifying. This kid is the new #1 driver.
I don't believe that to be true.
But then why does he get paid more?
You're still upset about that?
No. But I don't know, maybe. I just wish I never found out.
Boy, that is a big revelation, that is.
It's not the money, though, is it?
I'm old.
You're not old.
I mean, he is a bit.
Yes, again, I am old. For a driver, I'm old.
Come on, this is your last season. You said you'd make it count.
Oh. I still need to tell them.
When will you?
Soon.
Oh.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, forget about Jackson.
Okay.
And stop playing the victim. It doesn't suit you.
All right, okay.
It's Zandvoort next, remember? Everyone's gonna be rooting for you. Be the guy they love. And hey.
What?
Be the guy I love.
Smooth.
That's cute. Did you come up with that yourself?
I'm a natural-born charmer.
Zoe's a very good character. It's bringing out a good side of Casper, for sure.
Verstappen's got nothing on me.
You had to ruin it.
Oh my god. No, that was the worst thing you could have said. No, don't do that, man. Oh, it's alright. It's your wife. You're already ball and chained up. But mad. That's a revelation. So Casper, this is his final season. He's going to retire. He's not told the team. He's not told anyone yet. So, like I said earlier, we need to make the season count. And, you know, you're going to show up this season. Well, doubly now if he's retiring. I think that's what Zoe was getting at. Next race, next chapter, it would seem, is going to be the Dutch Grand Prix then, by that conclusion. And that is the home race for Casper, along with Verstappen, so that's going to be quite an interesting one. Frederick Vasseur has emailed us saying that he appreciates we're angry, but please don't badmouth the team in front of the press. So, the big boss is not too happy. Casper debriefs move back in half an hour. We'll go over what went wrong with the tyre strategy. See you there. Well, Brian, there's not much to go over, lad. You know, you guys screwed him over, but, you know, yeah, we don't want to talk about that. But Frederick not happy about what we did there. And then we've just got a press update. So, apparently the clip of us, the team radio, about must have been pretty urgent, has been clipped up. So, that is going to be a bit of a storm. So, even though, you know, behind the scenes things are looking calmer, I feel like we're growing to learn more about the man. We are still making a bit of tension, a bit of a whirlwind in the press and in the public. So, I don't know, let's see how the home race goes then next time out, next episode and next chapter. But guys, if you've enjoyed this one, hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content and another upload of this tomorrow. Till then, guys, goodbye.